friends, I welcome you all to this class. This is real analysis class, and today we'll be solving example 3 under this topic, the absolute value. In this example, we want to prove that for all a, b, c elements of real numbers, absolute value of a plus b plus c will be greater than or equal to absolute value of a minus absolute value of b minus absolute value of c. This is what we want to actually prove. So let's just start the proof. So what we are going to do is that I will start with absolute value of a, then I'll write a as I'll write this absolute value of a as absolute value of a plus b plus c minus b minus c, right? So I've written this absolute value of a as absolute value of a plus b plus c minus b minus c, since a is the same thing as a plus b plus c minus b minus c. So they are the same thing, right? So this implies absolute value of a is equal to absolute value of a plus b plus c plus negative b, right, plus negative c absolute value. You know that plus minus is a minus, so negative b is same thing as plus negative b, right? Because plus minus will give you minus. So this is what we'll have. So the next thing we're going to do now is to apply the triangle inequality. So if I apply the triangle inequality, this quantity will be less than or equal to absolute value of a, that's less than or equal to absolute value of the first quantity. The first quantity is a plus b plus c, then plus absolute value of the second quantity, negative b, plus absolute value of the third quantity, negative c. So this is what we have, right? So this implies, what's the first thing you have? Absolute value of a, then less than or equal to what we have at the right here is what? Absolute value of a plus b plus c, then plus absolute value of negative b is same thing as absolute value of b, plus absolute value of negative c is same thing as absolute value of what? C, right? Then this implies, let's move absolute value of b, absolute value of c to the right, sorry, to the left hand side. Let's move this absolute value of b, absolute value of c to the left hand side. So since we are having positive here, when they move to the left hand side, we are going to have negative. So we have absolute value of a at first at the left hand side. So when these two quantities move to the left, we'll be having negative absolute value of b, negative absolute value of c, then less than or equal to absolute value of a plus b plus c. This is what we have. So this quantity is less than this quantity. So if x is less than, this quantity is less than or equal to this quantity. For instance, if x is less than or equal to y, then this simply means that y will be greater than or equal to what? X. So if this quantity is less than or equal to this quantity, then the last quantity, which is absolute value of a plus b plus c, will be greater than or equal to absolute value of a minus absolute value of b minus absolute value of c. So with this, we have actually completed the proof of this question. of this inequality. So thank you so much for being part of this class. See you in our next class.